This video about source testing and SourceTAS tool. Okay, so I'm gonna start by explaining what is SourceTAS tool. It's a tool made by Yalter for Orangebox games. You can download it on sourcerun.com.org forums. The latest build is on my GitHub. I use the version 0.8, but Yalter also have his release 0.7, which is fine also. Basically, it was made for segmenting at the beginning, but he realized that he could do some crazy stuff with tasking, and made a plugin that isn't really a task tool, but that initiate a lot of crazy mechanics. Okay, so you have to download the spt.dll and put it into your folder. Okay, so like here I'm on my mod, and you just drop it like here, and you have you can just type plugin underscore load spd to load the plugin. So the tool originally just paused the game, but after he put a command that is called underscore y underscore y underscore spd underscore after frames, which means after x frames execute any command, and that makes basics of SourceTAS. One of the reason I made this video is that because when I tap ProtoTAS on Google, I find all those results. Okay, so this is not a task that is named task. This is not a task. This is a segmented run. ProtoTAS, this is not a task. This is what we call timescale assisted. We basically slow the game, and that's not task. So basically, the first three results on task. Proto2 co-op stuff, not task. The only one who is actually task is the Juxpaz one on chamber 19. Then come some TSA, again some let's plays, and then comes my videos and my task works. Okay, so basically, I wanted to do a quick history of the SourceTAS tool. SourceTAS tool was made by a genius Russian guy whose name is Yalter. He's really cool, and he did like 99% of SourceTAS tool, and he's crazy good in whole source games. Okay, so you can use the tool in Orangebox engine, which means Polo, Half-Life 2 new engine, Half-Life 2 episode 2, Half-Life 2 episode 1, and also mods from these games. Oh, and also a reason why I wanted to do this video is because I couldn't help Yalter during the Source Runs marathon during the task block, and I was really sad about it, and I couldn't be here to help and to say things I wanted to say. Okay, so I'm gonna explain how to run a task. So you need three things: spt.dll in the main folder. You need a CFG file in your CFG folder, and you'll need a save file .save on your save folder. Why? Okay, so the game has already built-in commands such as exec. Exec means execute the config file, and load load a .sav file, which means basically that will not act with real tasks like movies in like Bizok or whatever. The how it's gonna work is you are gonna bind a key, like I use 1 and 2. One to load the save. Okay, I don't remember how I called the my save. It's TAS Sniper. Okay, TAS Sniper. And then I'm gonna do another bind, which I made stop. It's for demo recording, and then exec frame rate. It's for video rendering. I'm gonna explain that a bit later. And then exec the config file with your TAS. I think that's TAS Sniper also. Exec TAS Sniper. Yeah. Okay, so we are on Sniper's episode. It's a small mod. Okay, so I'm gonna load. I need to load the SPD, plugin load SPD, and then I'm gonna. Oh, I need to set the pause. Oh yeah, it's already okay. So I'm gonna load the save. It's gonna be paused because of the source pause tool, and I just pushed 2. I forgot. I need to the exec frame rate should be in the bind one because I'm stupid. Okay, so load TAS Sniper exec frame rate. Oh, also stop must be at the beginning. Stop load exec frame rate. No. Okay, so stop exec frame rate for video rendering frame rate, load TAS Sniper load TAS Sniper, and then in bind 2 you need to exec the actual TAS Sniper, and then okay, I'm gonna run it. Okay, so I type 1 and then I run the movie in slow motion, and this is a task I made from Sniper's episode with a little skip I found. So I'm gonna use it to explain. Okay, so that's how to run a task, but how to make one. Okay, so I use two things to help me. The frame rate for video rendering. Basically, it's disconnect, so it's gonna quit the game, like quit the map, and then turn cheats on. Yes, cheats are on, but that's only for video rendering, and that's really cool. Host frame rate must be really low, so you can have a cute a frame rate, like you can see every actions you do, because every tick will be played like 1 second, so you can know exactly what's happening. And FPS max for rendering also. I forgot to tell something about how the time works, so I'm gonna load my show FPS. Okay, so the game has different FPS that are really variable, but there is also a unit that is used for the whole source runs, that is called tick. So you don't have to say it's the same thing. FPS is not tick. You can play any FPS you want, but the tick is the main unit of the game. It's like the unit it computes, and we use that to time our demos and stuff like that. And every action will be done at one tick. Like one tick I do that, one tick I do another action, one tick I do this. Okay, so this was the frame rate. Also I have another which is called reset. Yeah, reset. Block note. Oh, also I forgot to mention you can edit everything in Notepad or Notepad++. I prefer it. I have a reset that is really useful for ending movies, ending CFGs. It's basically just resetting all movements, because when you do a task, it will keep the same information when you reload the task. So it resets basically all things. It says no input should be played after exec reset is done. So now let's get in depth into a task. What I do usually is that I take a task and I just copy paste it just to have the basics. This is a little thing that I put in my CFGs. It's a commentary that says just, oh, the frame rate is set to on, and it loads the save file. It's just a commentary for me, just help me out. Oh, usually I put some hidden commentaries in my tasks, and I use echo for it, and I'm going to show what echo does. Echo I, it just displays the thing in the console command. However, if you want to do in the game, like in your task, to comment it, you have to use the command say hi, and when I'm going to resume it, it will say, oh, I need to like this, and if I say I, it's gonna be on the video. Oh. Okay, so usually it appears somewhere here in demos. Then the first thing you do is unpause the game. This is obvious, because when you want to play a game, it must not be paused. Pause is just for loading. Then I have all my inputs that I usually set to minus. So minus means they are not on. Like if I say minus attack, which is the left click, it's not gonna attack. But if I set plus attack, it's gonna attack. It's gonna do like auto fire like this, and I'm not touching everything. It just does it every time. So it's a built-in command of the game. So minus means it's not on, and plus means you set it to auto fire. So when I start to test, I set all to minus, and when I want to try, I set plus every time I want. So the first thing is for frame 0. So the first frame you actually like run the game. I said underscore. I set my pitch speed to 0 and your speed to 0. And then I use a command I made, which is called set angles, which will help me to like do the angles of the camera, which is really new in tasks. Also, I record a demo after first frame for how that's called, for rendering, not especially for rendering, but to replay my tasks. Like I stop the demo and I play it back. Then, okay, I'm gonna delete this part. Okay, so then here comes the real part, like the real inputs. Those are just Oh, remember to do that. Do some jokes with Finzi. He encodes my task, so I do little jokes with him. Then unpause, set your first frame inputs, and then here comes the real task. All your tasks should start with after frame reset, because if you are playing all tasks again and again, it should start with that. You cannot do anything with that without that. Technically you could, but that will not be a real task. Then starts the real thing. It's the command after frames. How it works is after frame first arguments, do the command on second arguments. So when I say after frames 25 plus jump, it will say, oh, after frame 25, do the plus jump, which equals to jumping, like toggle jumping, and this is how it works, and you can do your own tasks. Also, I need to mention this is done on real tick time, which means I do not slow the time. The host time scale is always equal 1. Only the frame rate, which means like I'm not playing when I do a task. I'm not like doing time scale assisted, which you can mostly find when you tap Portal task or Half-Life 2 tasks. You usually find timescale assisted, which is not tasks, and it's a common error when you try to watch stuff and like that, stuff like that. So this is how I do tasks. These are pretty much the useful commands I do. And you need to learn like all the useful command, like to set your camera angle. You need to use the command set angles that is on the version 0.8. If you want to set a left click, it's plus attack. If you want to set your right click, it's plus attack 2. If you wanna do forward, it's plus forward. If you wanna go to the left, it's plus move left. If you wanna go to the right, it's plus move right. If you wanna go to the back, so backwards, you want to do the plus back. For use, it's plus use. For crouch, it's plus duck. For save, it's save. For load, it's load. For executing config file, it's exec. What commands do I use? Let me check. Echo is to write something in the console. Say it's to write something on the main game. What do I do? That's pretty much all commands I use for tasking. Yes, and don't forget to tap stop. Also I forgot to mention something. When I do a task, usually I set reset when I am making the task, not on the final results. I say reset all frames because when I run again and again, sometimes like it does really bad things, and I prefer to reset. I said exec reset when I'm trying to do the task because I'm like doing a lot of stuff. Also, timing ends on the last tick, not frame. You do the actions. So like on this one, it ends on tick 505. and you have to convert it to seconds because the games run at 60 tick per second, so you can do whatever you want. So that's pretty much how to do a task. Also, there are some important things I didn't mention. Someone made a tool that is used if you want to start tasking. Like, it's not really that complete, but it's a plugin in Python to make config files for this. So you need both tools, and basically it's easier for beginners to task. It's called YACLWin. It's made by Decathlon. And let me show you some examples. Imports. Oh no, it didn't make some examples. Okay, so he put an example. Forward means he will press forward for 1 tick, then he will wait for 1 tick. So the forward will be played for 2 frames, then he will go back, he will wait 10 seconds, and then he will press left for 1 second, for another because he says next, and right. So I'm not sure I'm very clear, but that's something I did want to tell. If you want to start testing, try this tool. It's not that complete, but it's fine if you want to try out how it works. Also, the SPD, SourceTAS tool, works on Steam version and Source Unpack. So all version does work. I prefer doing on Steam version because I like it, but if you want to do tests on the Steam version, you can. On the Source Unpack, you can. What did I wanted to say about? Okay, I need. Also on test videos, it's not an actual like game, and when you check on forums, like it says Windows games, the games that operate with Hourglass. I know it's not technically a tool, but I'd like to have like a part where I could post some news, because source forums is mostly for segmented and single segments also, but not really for tests, and I'd like some place where I can put like config files and save it, like to have a place to put files and stuff like that. That will be really nice from the test videos community. Also, I recommend you to check Yalter's Half-Life 1 mod, because it's really good and it's technically way more complete than this thing, more than SourceTAS tool. And you can do a lot of stuff with Half-Life. Like technically, Half-Life tasks is more complete than this tool, because you can technically do RNG manip. Oh, I forgot to mention something. Since we don't have any RNG manipulations, I did like weeks of research and to determine how the physics works. So everything is not random except something. That's really weird. The characters, I mean, like oh, where is my bind zoom? Plus zoom. Okay. Well, it's not working. Okay. So as you see, there is Gordon Freeman here. I can't manip him, unfortunately, but I can't manip him. So you can't like do that with current tools. And also something that is random is the objects. When the objects are random, except if you hold them, which makes every glitch possible except prop clipping. Prop clipping is a glitch, like you take some items. I'm gonna take like this. And okay, so it's not random. If you hold it, like I'm holding it, its behavior is set. Like everything I do, it will always be the same result, except if it's on hair, like this, its behavior is totally random. It does exactly what it does want, and I can't predict it, unfortunately. Also, when I'm holding it, and if it does meet some other objects or walls or whatever, sorry, its behavior is totally unpredictable, and that's really unfortunate, because there is a glitch where you can actually do that with square boxes, and when you like take it and do some prop clipping to fall out of them, and unfortunately you can't do the replica of that, and that's really sad. Did I said everything I wanted to say? Let me think. Yeah, also don't forget that SourceTAS tool is not done yet. It's just like the beginning of it. It has the potential to become like a really good TAS tool, and I would love like to have done the first TASes. That would be so cool. So that said, there is no RNG manip. First, this makes that TASes that includes like when you take a box and you do it on walls and stuff like that, aren't real TAS because they are randoms. A cube that falls from a cube dropper will not have the same pattern, and that's really sad. What was my point? My point was what were I talking about? Oh, okay. So technically TAS is invalid because there are RNG manipulations. There are RNG, so you can't. Every time you do something, it will do a different behavior, and that kind of sucks. So it's not yet a done tool, and okay. So I wanted to make this video to explain a bit how it works, because I've seen a lot of people like saying, "Oh, you don't do timescale assisted." I thought this was timescale assisted. How you do tasks like that. So that's all I wanted to say about that. Let me think. Oh yeah, also if you want to like help for SourceTAS tool, don't forget to check the GitHub, because it's really cool. I think I'm done with that. If you have any question, feel free to ask. Okay, so thanks for watching, and bye.